Odds Band. Odds are a Canadian alternative rock band based in Vancouver, British Columbia. They perform music with a power pop style. They were nominated for 6 Juno Awards in the 1990s. As of 2014, they are on their fifth record label. History. Odds 1987–1999. The band was formed in 1987 in Vancouver, British Columbia, consisting of vocalist-guitarists Craig Northey and Stephen Drake, both of whom had led different bands appearing on a Vancouver music compilation album, Spotlight 86, bassist Doug Elliott, and drummer Paul Brennan. Pat Stewart was originally asked to be the band's drummer, but he declined. The band members claim the name came when Brennan asked Drake, in a town somewhere on the BC coast, "What are the odds of us ever escaping bullshit gigs like this?" In the late 1980s, the band played up to 4 nights a week as a 1960s and 1970s cover band called Dawn Patrol at the Roxy nightclub in Vancouver, while playing as Odds on weekends and funding their own demo recordings at Crosstown Studios in North Vancouver, hoping for a break. They traveled to Los Angeles doing showcases and eventually signed to Zoo Entertainment. In 1991, they released their debut self-produced album Neapolitan, which spawned the radio hits Love Is the Subject and King of the Heap, both sung by Northey. The third single, the sexually explicit Wendy Under the Stars, sung by Drake, failed to chart but attracted the attention of music critic Grail Marcus in his book Dead Elvis. After the release of Neapolitan, the band were picked up by Warren Zevon, becoming his touring band for his album Mr. Bad Example. In 1993, Zevon returned the favor by guesting on the band's Bedbugs album. Its lead single was Heterosexual Man. The video for that song featured the band members performing in drag, with Dave Foley, Kevin McDonald, and Mark McKinney from The Kids in the Hall, themselves often noted for drag performances as stereotypically macho jocks in the audience until Foley inexplicably turns into a woman. 3 more singles were released from the album: It Falls Apart, Jackhammer, and Yes Means It's Hard to Say No. Jackhammer features a guitar battle between Robert Quine, Lou Reed, Richard Hell, Matthew Sweet, etc., and Zevon. In 1995, Brennan left the band, moving to Toronto during the recording of their third album, and subsequently joined Big Sugar. He was replaced by Pat Stewart, who was a friend of Doug's and former drummer for Bryan Adams. Good Weird Feeling, their most commercially successful album, included drum tracks from both Brennan and Stewart. The album featured the top 10 hit singles Truth Untold and Eat My Brain. Satisfied hit the top 20. Mercy to Go and Smokescreen also charted. Eat My Brain later found a place on the Craig Northey-produced soundtrack to the Kids in the Hall movie Brain Candy. Northey composed the score for the movie along with Stewart and Elliott. In 1996, the album Nest was released. The track Someone Who's Cool, originally intended for a sequel to the Friends soundtrack, was their first No. 1 single in their native Canada. In the US, it was a No. 6 hit at AAA radio, but was not a mainstream chart hit. It later was also used as the title theme for the short-lived CBS comedy Love Monkey. The follow-up single Make You Mad featured a video which was co-directed by and starred Bruce McCulloch of The Kids in the Hall. Nothing Beautiful was the third single. Odds toured extensively during the 1990s, including as an opening act for the Tragically Hip and Baronaked Ladies. The band performed until 1999, headlining that year's Arts County Fair year-end concert at the University of British Columbia, but released no further new studio albums. Hiatus 1999–2007. In March 1999, Northey announced that he was leaving the band, although he continued to work with Elliott and Stewart frequently in subsequent years. The band members pursued other projects after 1999, releasing a greatest hits/singles compilation in 2000 entitled Singles, Individually Wrapped. A second compilation, The Essentials, was released in 2005. Later in 1999, Elliott, Stewart, and Northey teamed up with organist Simon Kendall of Doug and the Slugs to release an instrumental soul CD under the moniker Sharkskin. Drake followed up his previous work mixing the Tragically Hip's 1996 album Trouble at the Hen House by furthering his career as a recording engineer and producer based in Vancouver. Northey released a solo album, Giddy Up, in 2002, and worked as a songwriter and producer for other acts including Ross and Cash throughout the decade. In 2004, he collaborated with Gin Blossom's guitarist Jesse Valenzuela on the Northey Valenzuela album. The pair also recorded the theme song to the sitcom Corner Gas, Not a Lot Going On. Northey, Stewart, and Elliott all recorded and toured with Rob Baker of the Tragically Hip as the band Strippers Union, and continued to perform as the Craig Northey Power Trio, in addition to forming the core of the backup band for Canadian blues rock guitarist Colin James. In early 2006, Odd's song Someone Who's Cool was used as the theme song to the short-lived CBS music industry comedy Love Monkey, starring Tom Cavanaugh, Jason Priestley, and Teddy Geiger. New Odds and Odds Again 2008-2014. In 2007, Craig Northey, Doug Elliott, Pat Stewart, and new guitarist Murray Atkinson performed old and new songs on the Baronate Ladies Ships dip event aboard a cruise ship in the Caribbean Sea. They released a new album, Cheerleader, on May 20, 2008, with Northey now performing all lead vocals. It was the very first release by Kim Cook's new label Pheromone Recordings. The first single, My Happy Place, used over the closing credits throughout the run of Corner Gas, was released in mid-March. However, as the band's rights to the name Odds had lapsed, the album was released under the name The New Odds. After resecuring rights to its original name, the band obtained U.S. distribution through independent record label Second Motion Records. A new EP Noise trade named for the website used to sell it, comprising several songs from Cheerleader and covers of tunes from Pointed Sticks and Art Bergman, was prepared for early 2009 release. Early in the year, the band also appeared as themselves in retro 50s garb during a dream sequence in the final season of the Corner Gas television series. The band continues to perform regularly, mostly at festivals and events across Canada, including such performances as on the 2009 and 2010 Canadian Pacific Holiday Train. During the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver, Odds were the house band at Canada Hockey House. The band was named the Vancouver Canucks House Band of the 2010 and 2011 NHL playoffs. The Odds performed the theme music to the CBC/IFC television series The Kids in the Hall, Death Comes to Town. Odds made several shorter-length record releases in later years. On February 21, 2013, Odds released an EP called The Most Beautiful Place on Earth. The 5-song EP Game Face On and Party 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 followed in 2014. Discography. Singles. Albums. Juno Award nominations. Nominated Best New Group 1994. Nominated Best Rock Album 1996. Nominated Songwriter of the Year 1996-1998. Nominated Group of the Year 1996. Nominated Best Video Someone Who's Cool 1997. Members: Craig Northey lead vocals, guitar. Doug Elliott bass, backup vocals. Pat Stewart drums, backup vocals. Murray Atkinson guitar, backup vocals. Former members: Stephen Drake vocals, guitar. Paul Brennan drums, backup vocals.